What it do, truckers? Good morning. It's currently 8:05 in the morning. I'm in a bit of some Atlanta traffic. Nothing too crazy, typical morning traffic. We on our way to Roanoke, Virginia. It's not our first time going here. It may be our second to last time, you know. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you will know soon. But in this video, man, I want to address some things that's been kind of grinding my gears a little bit, must I say. And it involves YouTube truckers, right? Why do YouTube truckers lie so much? Or let me say this, why do they withhold so much information? And why do they only speak on the negative when it comes down to trucking? Whether they're a company driver, lease purchase, owner operator. And how come there's so little compared to the negative videos or posts or uploads on social media and YouTube when it comes down to trucking? Why do they seem like trucking is just a downhill career when it's not? It's not. I only been trucking for a year and a half, right? And I have yet to feel a drought in trucking, and I'm with my third company. Started with Pam, a lot of miles. U.S. Express, a lot of miles. J.B.Hunt, a lot of miles. Plenty of work. J.B.Hunt got so much work that during our last meeting, drivers was asking for a break. Now, that's on my dedicated lane. I don't know about nothing else, but I'm saying the Kroger account that I'm with has so much work that drivers are asking for a break. You know, we go out on a route, on a load, and by the time we drop the load and head back, they already got a schedule for another load to go out the next day. Do that sound like a drought to y'all? Do that sound like trucking is in a decline? Doesn't sound like that to me. So why is it so many posts, so many uploads on YouTube, you got a lot of truckers saying, oh, the trucking economy is bad. Don't get into trucking. It's a waste of time in 2026. No, it's not. It's not a waste of time. What these YouTube truckers are not telling y'all is there's a lot of work out here. They just don't want the work that is being presented to them. Now, the drivers, the watchers, or the viewers that listen to them isn't getting the whole story. You're not being fed the whole story behind why they are saying trucking is at a decline. They're not telling y'all the truth. They're not telling y'all the truth. If you're not an immigrant, an alien, or a non-domicile trucker, it's plenty of work out here for you. Plenty of work out here for you. Plenty of work. Don't let these YouTube truckers lie to you. Don't let them lie to you. They not telling y'all, when it come down to lease purchase, they not telling y'all what the contract stated before they signed. Half of them didn't even read the full contract before they signed. They thinking about the money. They thinking about what if. But then when they get out there on the road, they not telling y'all how many loads they are turning down. How many loads they don't want to do. How many states they don't want to travel to. How many cities they do not want to travel to. They're not telling y'all that. So when things don't go their way, that's when they come to YouTube and say, hey, don't do lease purchase. Don't go owner operator. Do not drive for a company. A lot of them don't even read the handbook. I do. I am one of the few that I know that actually read the handbook. Now, I don't read the handbook from front to back. I read what's important to me. I read that part of the handbook. You know what I'm saying? I read what's important to me. I read from policies to the do's and the don'ts. That's what I read. So in this video right here, we definitely gonna talk about a lot of the BS that comes with these YouTube truckers. And the reason why I call them YouTube truckers is because the real truckers that out here really making a living out of this, they don't really post, and I think they should. I think a lot of truck drivers should post, whether it's a short or a long video, they should post and let people know what's really going on. That's why on my videos, I show y'all the ups and the downs, the good and the bad. But not one time, not in one video have y'all ever heard me say, oh, trucking is at a decline. It's not, because it's not. If it was, I would tell y'all. I'm very honest with my community. Very honest. Trucking is not at a decline, man. There's so much work out here, we need a break. So please do not watch these videos, get discouraged and thinking, oh man, I want to get my CDLs, but I don't want to get my CDLs during the 2026 trucking economy because I am hearing so much negativity about what's going on out there on the road. It's not that bad. It's not, to me, it's not bad at all. I am not pro company, lease, or owner operator, nor am I pro truckers. I'm stating y'all my opinion and my honest take on what's going on out here on this road when it comes down to trucking. I don't know everything, but I do know as a 1.5-year driver that a lot of truck drivers on YouTube are lying to y'all. I do know that.
So good.
So, first thing we're gonna talk about what these YouTube truckers lie about. Company drivers, right? I am currently J.B.Hunt company driver. That's what I am currently, right now. I've seen so many videos of so many YouTube truckers talk about J.B.Hunt don't pay, J.B.Hunt don't care about their drivers, J.B.Hunt don't have the miles, J.B.Hunt this, J.B.Hunt that. Every company, right? Same stories. For one, I don't expect no company to care about me. I don't come to a company for them to care about me. I come to a company for them to pay me for the work that I put out. A lot of y'all drivers have unrealistic expectations. So when y'all come into a company, y'all expect them to care about y'all, to overpay y'all, and to give y'all the least amount of work for the most amount of pay. It don't work like that. You get what you put out. If you don't want to work, you don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pick and choose when you want to go out and pick and choose where you want to go, then don't expect a high-paying check that week. Stop getting on these apps. Stop getting on this channel. Stop getting on these blogs, these social media platforms, lying about what companies pay truckers and how they don't want to pay. They do want to pay, it's just you don't want to work. I've been a company driver for 3 different companies, PAM, US Express, now J.B.Hunt. Every company I've got with, whatever they told me it was going to be, that's what I expected. Now, when they told me what it was going to be in the beginning, I tried it out, and if it didn't work for me, I moved on. I don't care about nobody calling me a job hopper or none of that. I go to a company with a certain expectation, realistic expectation. If they tell me something and it's something completely different than what they told me in the beginning during orientation or interviews, I leave. I don't stick around to see if it's gonna get better. I don't know what y'all be waiting on, but that's what I do. So we gotta stop getting on these apps lying to these new drivers or these student drivers and telling them Don't go to a company because they don't want to pay you. They do want to pay you. It's just you don't want to work. That's all that is. So stop lying, get off your ass, put in the work, get the money. When you come to a company, the first thing you need to ask is, how much am I getting paid? That's the first thing everybody want to know. How much you getting paid? Once they tell you how much you get paid, you need to start doing numbers right then and there in your head or on your phone to see if that's the type of money you're looking to make. Whether it's less or if it's more, that determines whether you come back for your first day or not. Whenever I'm in orientation, I ask 1,000,001 questions. So by the time I get to my trainer, I'm pretty much expecting what I was told in orientation. Then when I get my trainer, I'm gonna ask him 1,000,000 questions or her 1,000,000 questions just to make sure it's somewhat accurate from what they told me in the interview or orientation. A lot of times your trainer is gonna tell you what's really going on with these companies. And sometimes you just gotta ask around. But don't run to YouTube and expecting these people to tell you when their feelings have gotten hurt because they didn't wanna work, so they didn't get paid. Or they went with a company off a certain reference, not expecting to be treated like somebody else is being treated. No, when you go to a company, you're gonna get treated different than what somebody else told you they get treated. Nobody's treated the same, all right? So stop lying about that part when it comes down to being a company driver. That is bullshit, all right? All right, so let's talk about the other lie that these YouTube truckers be telling y'all. Lease purchase. First thing they say when you ask about lease purchase is what? It's a scam, right? But let me put y'all up on something. I signed up for lease purchase with US Express, right? Everything that I needed to know was right there in the contract. Everything from the truck fee, from the deductions, from the maintenance, from the fuel, from everything that you need to know is right there in the contract. All you have to do is read. Now, I would suggest 3 other channels that you guys should watch if y'all really want to get up on honesty when it comes down to trucking. Lease purchase, that is. That's Slime Pack Nation, Wild Beard, and Trucker Hood. Those 3 lease purchase truckers actually give you guys details and they give y'all the rundown on how lease purchase work. And they all have been doing lease purchase for years, right? Now, the lie that you always hear is, it's a scam, they trick you out of money, they take your money. They don't take nothing that they're not telling you that's gonna come out your check. Everything that they come out your check, they told you that in the contract. All you gotta do is read. Now, what these truckers do when they get into these lease purchases is, they forget the fact that when you're going into a lease purchase, you're becoming your own business owner, right? Once you sign that contract, you are a 1099 independent contractor, which means anything that you do is up to you. But a lot of the lease purchase, they get into it to what? Go home. Now, when I read the contract for my lease purchase, it didn't fit what I was looking for. And I understood myself. A lot of those lying ass truck drivers don't understand themselves. And what I mean by that is, if you know you like to go home a lot, lease purchase is not for you. I like to go home a lot. So, Instead, what I did was, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stick with company for a little bit longer until I can figure out exactly what I want to do when it come down to lease purchase. So I joined J.B.Hunt. A lot of truckers gotta tell y'all the fact is they don't understand what it is to be your own boss. Lease purchase owner operators are their own boss. Anything that goes on with their checks, their loads, their account, their truck, their maintenance, their fuel is all on them. But they get into lease purchase and expect the company to still cover them as if they work for the company. Don't work like that, y'all. So do not believe what you hear on the internet when it comes down to lease purchase. Try it out for yourself. Better yet, research it. Watch drivers that give you the ins and the outs. Do not just watch drivers who failed at it and now they're running to YouTube to blame the company for their failure. Those are not the type of people you even want to follow. Those are not the type of people you even want to keep up with. Those type of people you want to let them be complainers. That's all they want to do. They blame everybody else for what they got going on. Me, I understood that lease purchase was not for me at the moment because I want to go home. And me going home is going to put me in the hole when I come back. And my bank account is not set up for that. So I didn't do it. So let that be a lesson. That's the second lie that these YouTube truckers tell y'all when it comes down to trucking. Don't go for it. All right, y'all. So, last but not least, YouTube truckers lie all the time when they bring up owner operators. Now, I may not have never been an owner operator, but I've talked to plenty of owner operators at truck stop, did my research on owner operators, and the number one lie that I have heard from owner operators that there's no work out here for truck drivers that own their own truck due to their economy. That's not true. What I heard was the rates are just not the same. Now, they may pull a load going from here to there for one day. There may be 1,500 or 5,000 for that load. But the next day, that same load go from here to there may drop down to 3,500 or 1,200, whatever the case may be. But the fact of the matter is, it's work out here in the trucking industry. It's plenty of work. And a lot of YouTubers, once again, owner operators, ain't nothing but a bunch of old geezers who don't want young truckers or new truckers on their load board or sharing brokers with them. So whenever you hear an owner operator on YouTube say, oh, there's no money out here in the trucking industry, the economy is dead for truckers, they lying. They either don't want you on their load board or they don't want you sharing brokers with them or they don't want to share dispatches with you. The fact of the matter is they're just upset with the rates. They don't like what the rates are today because what the rates used to be. But everything changes. Company change their policies, prices changes, fuel prices changes, inflation, everything changes. So what may have been yesterday may not be today. So do not for 1 second think that there's no work out here for owner operators. There's plenty of work out here. Just remember, the rates will change. Just because you pulled a load from here to there that was 5,000 that day, that same load that was 5,000 may be 3,500 the next day. Things changes. The economy changes every single day. But the work is definitely there. So once again, do not listen to these YouTubers, these truckers on YouTube telling you there's no work out here. There's plenty of work out here. They just don't want you taking the work that, strangely, that they don't want. That's what confuses me. They don't want the work, but they don't want you to have it. So we gonna use that portion of the video to say this. If you have the desire to be an owner operator, go for it, man. Do what works for you. Don't listen to what nobody on YouTube is telling you because they're not giving you the whole story. It's two sides to every story. It's the truth, and then it's their side. It's up to you whether you go find the truth or not. All right? Ugh. All right, y'all, so the moral of this story, or the moral of this video is, if you want to become a company driver, become a company driver. If you want to try lease purchase, try lease purchase. If you want to be an owner op, if you got the money, go be an owner op. The big advice I can give to you is, man, go get the experience for yourself. Nobody's experience is the same. Nobody has the same story, but everybody got the same complaints. Don't be one of those people with the same complaints. Go get your own story, go get your own experience, and go start your own career. So, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all for making it this far in the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one, man. I'm out.